It's podcast host versus podcast host, with discussing depression's Casey Moran taking on me, Ryan Buds, in 20 questions on summertime movie trivia. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I am recording this in my den, in my man cave, in the room I keep all my collectible toys, from my Jimmy Hart Hall of Fame class elite wrestling figure to my rest in peace Adam West Batman 66 Blu-ray box set to my Frank Costanza holding the Festivus pole figurine. I've got it all in front of me, and I have a light on it, which is very cool in this new house. It's like a light that kind of shines on all the stuff that I like when I'm sitting on the couch. This is the voice of Ryan Buds. You're listening to my show, the Trivia with Buds podcast. I put this out every Tuesday, and I'm so glad you decided to check it out today. Getting a lot of love from the pod quiz appearance I made over in the UK. Now, it sounds like I flew over there and was on some big-time show. But what I did was I just guest hosted a round. I curated a round about clowns and film for my good friend James and his podcast called Pod Quiz, which I think is the longest-running trivia podcast on iTunes for sure. It's like 680 episodes or something. And he does 20 questions every week, and he's just a very polite British guy, so I urge you to go check out his show. And I've been inspired by his show of just 20 questions to do my own mini-episode version of this show coming out in just 6 weeks. So as soon as I hit the year mark here, I'll be starting to put out 2 episodes a week. Every Tuesday will be the traditional either me versus somebody or 2 friends of mine going head-to-head in topics they're good at type of episode. And every Thursday will be the mini-episodes, which is, it'll probably be 15 random questions, and it'll be like guest rounds from different friends and celebrities of mine. Celebrities of mine? Do I own the celebrities? That sounded weird. Most of the time, they will just be friends of mine doing impressions of celebrities. So get excited for that. And then I will have a bunch of fun giveaways and like little segments like Word of the Day or On This Day in History and that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit more straight trivia, and it'll be about 20 minutes if you're just looking for something quick to put in your earbuds. I should patent some kind of headphones that are called earbuds, but there's 2 Ds in them. But I don't know why they'd be different and why people would buy them. I got to figure that out. Rest in peace, Adam West. That was very sad to hear on Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning. I went into work, had to work on the weekend, and my friend Casey O'Connor, he was on the show doing some Seinfeld trivia back on the 2nd episode of this podcast. If you want to go back and check that out, Casey's a very pop culture dude. I get all my news from him. And I walked in and he goes, "Did you hear about Adam West?" And I'm like, that usually means somebody around that age when they say, "Did you hear about that person?" It's like some scandal or they passed away. And unfortunately, we lost Adam West. He was a big part of my childhood watching reruns of Batman 66 on a small tube TV in our kitchen in Chicago. And I would put those on, and I just got a kick out of how bright and crazy the colors and characters were on that show. And he was a big part about, introducing me to Batman. So Adam West, we will miss you. I had a chance to meet him just about a year ago, last November at Kamikaze, Stanley's Kamikaze, and there was a big line, and it was like $175 or something to get a picture or something signed with Adam West and Burt Ward. And I had my box set, but I decided not to get the signature, and now I really wish I did. But great guy, as well as on Family Guy and all the other fun stuff he did. Adam West. I just got home from trivia hosting at the Moose Den Monday nights, 8 to 10 in Glendale, California, and the Golden State Warriors won the old NBA championship. I didn't even know I knew the finals were going on. I didn't realize tonight was the last game because they had swept the series so far. So it was crazy. The whole bar was packed with people in jerseys and everything. And then when they won, it was like, yay. Like nobody really celebrated. It was almost like such a given that people were just kind of like, cool. And then a lot of them stuck around and played trivia. So that was very cool. We started a little later, and it was a ton of fun. There was a big table of teachers, which were a hoot and a holler. So thanks for being at the Moose Den tonight. We've been there for about 9 months, about a gestation of a baby over there, about 9 months. And I saw my baby today, by the way, on a 3D ultrasound. It's crazy. It's like the cutest thing. You're like, oh, man, look at that angle. That's a cute baby growing. And then the next angle, you're like, that's Rocket Raccoon. That is a small bear cub or some sort of serpent. Like the angles on those things, they change how the baby looks so quickly. But yeah, that was very cool. We're going to find out very soon what the sex of the baby is. We'll do a gender reveal. Maybe we'll do like a trivia reveal where I somehow have listeners guess what they think it's going to be. And if they're right, they get to keep the baby. We'll have to figure that out. To figure out a way to divvy up this baby when it comes. I had a crazy weekend. I had a super fun weekend hanging out with family and friends and doing some fun stuff. I beat a video game, which I haven't done in a while. Plague of Shadows, the Shovel Knight expansion, where you get to play as Plague Knight. Finally beat that. It's pretty tough, super fun. And got that under my belt. I watched Finn Balor 24, the 24 Network special on WWE Network. If you like wrestling, if you don't even like Finn Balor, which I don't know how you don't, go back and watch this special from, I think it was last month or earlier this month. Really well done. They shoot those things. That's like the 30 for 30 version of WWE stuff. And they just make it look like a film and you really get involved in what you're watching. So check that out, Finn Balor 24 special. Watch the live-action Beauty and the Beast again. We saw it in theaters. I raved about it before. I may have been a little high the first time I saw it. This time, I was not, and I liked it just the same. Man, the Gaston? Yeah, the Gaston song is so good. Really well done. If you like movie musical type stuff or Disney stuff, go watch this live-action Beauty and the Beast. Another thing I watched about half of it last night and then fell asleep, and it was called Trolls, based on the Troll dolls. And that was, I won't say it was terrible, but it was real dumb. It looked dumb when I saw it, and then it got some good reviews, and they said the music was great. So I'm like, oh, I'll watch it when it's on video. So I put it on last night with the kid, and she laid next to me. We watched it. Little did I know she'd seen it like 3 times already. It's been on Netflix for like 24 hours. She's already seen it like a dozen times. And I said to my wife, I go, this is so dumb. And she goes, yeah, it's pretty dumb. So I don't recommend Trolls, even if you have kids. Fall asleep watching it. That's what it's for. You know what this is for? I got a promo code for you, and that is for Father's Day. Get your dad a shirt over at a website run by my friends called mintytees.com, MINTYTEES.com, Minty Tees. Go on this website. There's a million different shirts for all dads out there. Father's Day is just around the corner. It's this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. My wife asked me what I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to watch this Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and then she walked out of the room. So that's going to be a very happy Father's Day for me. That is coming up, and maybe you want to get something for your dad. They can get it to him just in time, just for this Sunday, and use the promo code BUDS over on this website. You're going to save yourself 10%. And that 10% comes and helps the show. I've had people ask me, like, how can I support the show? How can I help you buy things like new headphones for guests and headphone splitters and things like that? And what I want you to do is I want you to go to Minty Tees and buy a shirt for yourself or someone you love. Here's a couple good ones. This is a great one. This is their number one selling one around this time of year. It says, World's Greatest Farter, I Mean Father. That's a nice little spelling error for your dad, right? Who doesn't like a good fart joke on a t-shirt? Get that for your pops in all different sizes, shapes, colors, types of material over at Minty Tees. Another one says, may all the ups and downs in your life be under the sheets. Ooh, may all your ups and downs be under the sheets. That's if you have like a real sexy dad, like you have a real Lothario of a dad, and he's always out there just banging around with different ladies of the night. Get him that shirt. And then you got this one. This one, maybe you have a gay dad. This one says legalize gay marijuana. Not exactly a Father's Day shirt, but I thought that was a funny shirt. Legalize gay marijuana. That's a great shirt you can buy. Over on mintytees.com, use the promo code BUDS, that's BUDDS, to save 10% on your order of 1 shirt or 100 shirts or 1,000 shirts. That's what I want you to do to help support the show. Speaking of supporting the show and supporting me and all the live stuff I do, this guy is moving from California to Washington. He's my good friend, He's my good friend, Cam Betchard, and he's moving from Southern California up to Washington. Let's hear a nice voicemail from my good friend and fellow trivia host every once in a while over at Last Name Brewing in Upland, California. Here's what Cam had to say.
Hey, Buds, it's Cameron. I just wanted to call and thank you for hosting trivia at Last Name Brewing. I've been going since about January 2016. And I'm not even kidding. It's changed my life. I met my girlfriend there, and recently, as in a couple days ago, we just moved out, and we are on our way up to Chewelah, Washington, moving in together. First, I wanted to thank you for, my girlfriend. I guess you did that. So, you do weddings, right? I'll hit you up. All right. Thanks, man. Bye.
Well, Cam, that was music to my ears. And yes, I do weddings. I do weddings. I've done 5 weddings for friends. I officiate weddings. They're super fun. We customize them. We make them really special. And I would love to do that wedding if that's around the corner. I'm doing one for a brewmaster up in Santa Clarita area on October 1st. I can't wait to do that. One of the guys that works at Pocock Brewing up there, my good friend Jeff with a G. And that'll be really cool. And if you have something coming up like that, or you need an MC for something, as well as trivia hosting, I like to host and marry people. That's my other passion in life. It is kind of cool to think that at the end of my life, I'll be able to go, I was responsible for X amount of relationships that may or may not have lasted. So far, they've all lasted pretty well. And I think that Cam and Laura are going to be lovebirds for quite some time. And I feel so cool to be involved in, just a way that 2 people met by hosting trivia at some bar or brewery. That's very, very cool to me. It's very near and dear to my heart. So thank you, Cam. Thank you, Laura. And very good to hear from you, Cam, in that voicemail. If you have a voicemail, you want to leave me a question, a story, a trivia so-and-so, give me a nice voicemail at 424-265-1212. That's the trivia hotline. It is 424-265-1212. That's enough for me. This nice long intro, but we got a Buds battle coming your way. Oh, man, if you like summertime, this is the episode for you. It's me. It's Casey Moran. It is Summertime Movies. Here we go. Sitting here in a great little eatery called Taste Chicago in Burbank, California. This is like my second home for Chicago food, and this is a great spot. Across the table from me is a friend of mine named Casey Moran. What's up, Casey?
Hey, man, thanks for doing it here, because I reached out to you to see how this was, because I drove by it.
Yeah.
If anybody knew, it'd be you. That's exactly it.
I run a monthly a trivia night here through my good friend Bobby Hill, who's one of the managers here. He's a great comedian, and this place is owned by Joan Montana from Criminal Minds and all kinds of great stuff. Voice of Fat Tony. There's a signed Simpsons autograph right over there, a Fat Tony, and they are kind enough, the family, to hire me to do trivia once a month. So we've been doing it. It's kind of new. We've been doing it the last 2 months. The next one's coming up very soon. I'll insert the date into the intro outro of this episode because I don't have it off the top of my head. But you hit me up the other day on Instagram, I think, and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about going to or maybe you called me or texted me, but you're like, I'm thinking about going to Taste Chicago. Is that place any good? And I was like, oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
And we're here now. We just ordered a couple of slices. We got these big Sicilian slices. It's like a big corner of a square piece of pizza, and kind of like when you have pizza day at school, like the cafeteria looking slice. But this one is going to be loaded with green peppers, sausage, pepperoni, all the good Chicago meats.
Nice.
You know? Have you been to Chicago?
Yeah, it's actually a good story. I hate when people say that because now it has to be. There's hype behind it. But I went. My name is Casey Moran, and there's a bar called Casey Moran's in Chicago, in
really?
Wrigleyville.
I don't even know that.
Yeah, and it's on Clark Street. My middle name's Clark, so I'm like, dude, I gotta go. So on my 27th birthday,
you have to go claim it and just be like, I own this now.
Here's what I did, and here's what I did wrong. I got my friends together. They said, let's go. We got like a Priceline deal of like the middle seats on the airplane. Yeah, Howard Johnson in that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, it was super cheap. It was like $300 a person for 2 or 3 nights. It was just because it was in November, and it was like mid-November, so it was before Thanksgiving or anything. It was just the right time to go. So we go, and it was fun. But then when we got to the bar, we were gonna go first night, right?
Yeah.
So excited. I've had friends that went to Chicago that got me menus and T-shirts and all that stuff.
Sure, the hype is there.
Here's what I didn't do. I didn't do the research of when this place is open. They're not open when it's not baseball season.
Oh my God, not
at all. And it's
Holy
like
cow.
a big place. I don't know how they can afford to keep it going, but I was so mad. Looking back, now that I do comedy, it's funny. But at the time, I was so mad. My friends were laughing how mad I was.
So you didn't get to go.
No.
So you just take a picture in front of it?
Yeah. We basically went to Chicago for this reason, and it didn't work, but we went on a booze bus.
Oh, okay.
And it was the best. We went to Lou Almati's.
Lou
Is that what it is?
Malnati's.
Sorry, Lou Malnati's for pizza. We went to 2 pizza places. That one and DiGiorno's or Giordano's.
DiGiorno's the one you ordered home.
Yeah, not delivered.
Giordano's.
Yeah, Giordano. Yeah, see, I know nothing about Chicago. And then we went to Portillo's.
Yeah.
That was the first eat spot that we went. And we had one bad restaurant, but it was one of those restaurants that's not Chicago-based.
Sure.
It's like kind of like a Dick's Last Resort type of place.
White Castle is what you're talking about?
No, that's not it. But no, I wish we went there.
Yeah.
I went to, my favorite part wasn't even the bars or the booze bus or anything, but going to all the coffee. I'm a big coffee place person, like a mom and pop coffee shop guy.
There you go.
And they had like Robust Coffee Lounge, and all these places were just so great.
You ever write a screenplay? That's what they use those places for mostly out
yeah.
here. Coffee
well,
houses.
no, but I see those people that write them, and I think they want you to look that they're writing that.
They spread out all their devices.
Their huge screen of.
It always seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't you have a house? Don't you have a Wi-Fi at home?
I live in Simi Valley, so I don't really see those people. Those are the people that just don't have a house, so they just go to Starbucks all day.
Speaking of Simi Valley, it's one of my favorite places. You run a lot of comedy shows out there.
Yeah.
And especially more in the last couple of years. Not as much anymore.
Right. And you're going to be on the show, I think, in July.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
July 28th at the Junkyard Cafe.
Great place. It's like a real Mod Podge. You feel like you're doing comedy in like someone's garage or attic. Right. It's a very, very cool place.
And we get real people there most of the time. Yeah. Sometimes it's comics.
Well, that's the best part about like doing these shows in kind of the outskirts of LA. You get some genuine people, which is where I started in the suburbs of Chicago. I feel like the people were more genuine than city folks sometimes because they're just more raw and they're like into jokes instead of like more the alternative comedy. Yeah. And I've always considered myself more of a jokey, I don't really ever I don't ever plan to change the world with my comedy. I just want people to laugh and have a good time.
Right. So you have the material, but you also have crowd work. So when there's actual people, it's nice to go into both of them. If you can.
Sure. Thanks, man. Yeah, but the Simi Valley area, I always would joke about. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a different state. It feels like you've gone out into the boonies a little bit. And I always say, like, it's everything out in Simi Valley, California. It's like, ooh, a mansion, ooh, a paintball course, because it's just like it's like
that
the nicest,
every time
the nicest house,
true.
And then there's like a house with 6 fridges on the front lawn. You're like,
it's
whoa,
the best. Well, it's the thing is like. I had a comic, Monica Nevi from Seattle, I was like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, so I was going out of pocket for a long time and paying people out just for like gas because I'm like,
you would always do that. You've always kind of been like, here's $20, and I'm like, did you make money? And you're like, just take it.
Yeah. Well, because I feel that I don't want to ever make money off comics, and B, I think that every comic that I see and I like that I book is worth at least gas money. Yeah. And the thing is, though, it's like. She was saying it's just nice to get out of LA sometimes. And just like, even if it's 30 minutes north, it's just cool because it's like you drive and you're like, oh, this is like, we're only 30 minutes away, but it's such a different world. Yeah. And the people, it's a sad town because like there's a heroin problem. There's all these things going on. So they really, on a Wednesday night, when they were just going to watch, Law and Order, it's nice to come and watch comedy. And I try to make every show free. I try to make every show no drink minimum. I try to make it as minuscule for everybody in terms of money that I can.
It's funny you said it's funny you said you don't want to make money off of comics. That's all I do, actually. I teach comedy courses, as you know. They call me the king of Simi Valley, and I go out there and I set up a little conference room at like a Ramada.
But you're like, that makes sense.
$600 a class. You're taking one right now on how to podcast. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, it's about time that I took one.
And you have to pay for this lunch. I don't know if I told you that as well.
I'm in. No, I think that and what's weird though is like, I'm not. I know what my comedy is. It's whatever, but I take a lot more pride, I think, in producing shows and making sure they run smoother. But in October, I'm done. I'm kind of just focusing on motivational speeches, getting into my podcast about depression and focusing on that now.
And how long have you considered yourself a stand-up comedian? Last 3 years?
No, that's a great question because I started about 3 years ago, but I never considered it until I started getting booked regularly. Like, there's no disrespect to open mic comics, but I think if you've gone up twice, you don't change your profile as you're on Facebook as stand-up comic.
Sure.
I hated that because that's a
Casey Moran.
Well, yeah, that's a slap in the face of all the people that are professional comics that get paid for it.
Yeah,
if you're gonna change, what your profession is. Yeah. Do whatever you do to make money, a waiter or whatever. There's no judging. But
what if we all had it on Facebook? It made you put your profession, so it was like waiter Casey Moran.
I would do it if I was a waiter. I just would never do. I just personally wouldn't put stand-up comic because it just wasn't. It wasn't any. I mean, have I got paid for it? Yes, but with the amount of money I've paid out of pocket, I'm probably down.
Sure.
So it's like to me, it's like.
It's like my mom with scratch-offs. My mom always wins on scratch-offs, but I'm like, how much are you spending on the scratch-offs? You know what I mean?
Right. Scratchers are, that's a good point. Like, if you're a gambler, chances are you're not up in your world.
In your head, you're up because it's like, I've won sometimes.
You're there. If you win then, you think that you're up. But if you do all the math, it's not good.
Of course. Well, I've always considered you a good friend and a comedian. So I would definitely say you've been a stand-up comedian. But it is kind of cool. I like when people don't kind of bullshit around. You know, it's like pussyfooting is a fun word. It's like am I or am I not? I like that you've gone like, all right, I've dabbled in this, dipped my toe in the water, and now I want to do this other thing.
Right.
Because I've kind of gotten to that point where like I think I'll always consider myself a comedian. I think I'll always do stand up, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm doing it the least amount that I've ever done.
Right.
I've been doing it the longest. Obviously, as time goes on, I'm like, okay, I've done this like 11 years.
Yeah.
But in the last year, maybe a few dozen shows.
Yeah, you'd hit me up and you'd be like, I haven't gone up for a month. Can I just pop in? I go, absolutely.
Sure.
I go, and then you get up and you would have never known because I think that a comic, yes, there are people in your head, you're rusty, like, oh, I flubbed that line or whatever. But like you just do what you've been doing for a long time. But you also have a family to support. You have all these things. You can't do that with stand up. Not in LA. You just can't.
It is tough, yeah. And it's and I kind of I talk about this a lot, but the trivia stuff, like running these trivia nights, is kind of like my version of a career in stand up because it's like I'm in control of it. I book my own stuff.
I make a little bit of money.
Make money, and I really like doing it. So it's like all the effects of a stand up career without actually just doing straight stand up. But it's more flexible and it's
you have complete autonomy too. You get to be you 100%. You don't have somebody going, you got to be clean, kid. You got to do this, and it's like. So I've gone to those clubs and I'm like, man, I don't know how to hold back.
They talk about a lot on these on different marketing podcasts and things I listen to, like gatekeepers and how gatekeepers are kind of done. It's like you don't have to wait for some comedy club owner to be like, you're good enough for my club. It's like you can make your own audience online and then go to any place and have your own club in a way. You know what I mean?
Who's that guy? Jamie something? He does the Gatekeepers podcast from Improv.
Yes.
He does a whole thing about gatekeepers and he had like Adam Egget on. I think we got some slices coming.
I'm going to pause it. And the gatekeeper thing is the whole mentality of that is just kind of it's gone. I think because these people, especially like a YouTube celebrity, it's like
Vine stars, all those.
Yeah, things. I was talking to the manager of the Chicago Improv. Her name's Stephanie, and she goes, "Have you ever heard of this guy? I think his name was Shingo Bling. Have you ever heard of that name?"
Yeah, I have, but I think it's a YouTube thing, right?
Yeah, so he's like a YouTuber, or he blew up online somehow.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, she goes, I never heard of him. We booked him, and he sold out 6 shows, 500 seats a show. Right. And it's like, you don't need to prove to somebody you can do 5 minutes of comedy if you have that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's like they kind of create their own thing. They're their own gatekeepers, and I kind of like that. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to have that kind of moving power, but I do like that the people, like if I do a comedy show at Flappers in Claremont, California, I have this huge fan base of people who like my trivia in that area that I can be like, hey, come see me. Yeah. And then Flappers is like, wow, you sold 30, 40 tickets to a tiny Sunday night show. And it's like, those were people that, wanted to see me do a stand-up show that see me do trivia every week. Right. So that's kind of the fun I get about doing that.
I think that when it comes to the YouTube stars and the Vine stars and all that, a lot of comics give them shit, but I think that there's jealousy there because they blew up faster than any comic would because they honed this skill. Yeah. And it is a skill to make a YouTube video funny every day and to deal with the haters that they have to deal with. Yeah. Not an easy thing. I know this guy who was a Vine star, and his name is Ryan Dune, and he's a comic. So he's been doing stand-up for 3 years, and I met him, and I saw him do stand-up, and he's really funny. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, like, how did you take the haters on the comics when they probably, and he goes, well, instead of, like, just making sure I could sell places out like that guy you were saying because I had a million followers or whatever, or I could just hone stand up also and get the respect that way, and that's what he did. And to me, I think because he's older, he had that that kind of like intuition to do that. Yeah. But I think also there are a lot of Vine stars and people that they did book that just bombed as a comic. Yeah. But if they can entertain the crowd, who are we to shit on them? You know,
Exactly.
like I have respect for people that can make a crowd entertained doing anything they're doing, as long as they're not stealing stuff from people. That's all I care about.
I'm all about the entertainment as well. So
Right.
I think people forget about that part first. And I think that should always be first. It's like, you got to entertain people.
Yeah.
If people aren't entertained, you're not doing your job.
Right. I mean, I liked Vine Stars because when I was down, I would watch 6-second videos of these people that just made me laugh.
Speaking of being down, you have a podcast called Discussing Depression.
I do.
With Casey Moran. Tell us a little bit about that and how it came to be.
Well, you've been on our other podcast, Infamous Chronicles, and that Jay or Infamous, he kind of helped me get my own podcast he interviewed me just one-on-one for that podcast. Yeah. And it got a lot of comments about people saying, like, I just talked about my story with depression, how long I've been fighting it since I was 16, and I'm 30 now, and we talked about it, and the comments we got back were, like, life-changing for me. It was like, I couldn't, explain to my parents what my depression felt like, so we listened to this, and afterwards we hugged, because you put it into words that they could understand. And to me, it's like, anything I've done with stand-up, I did sportscasting for 10 years, nothing felt as gratifying as hearing those comments. And that's kind of when I started to change my mindset of, all right, I want to do TED Talks and make them funny rather than doing stand-up with a little depression in there.
There you go, man.
So for me, it's just about doing that because, But yeah, so I got lucky, and then I kind of took the Infamous Chronicles thing, made it into my own podcast, started interviewing comedians, mental health professionals, my mom, my best friend, my ex-best friend, and just trying to talk about my story and then also hear other people's perspectives. And I'm getting all types of different, I have some ones that are going to be deep that are talking about people that got raped and things that are really, really hard topics to talk about. But if they're willing to do it and, I listen, I'll record it and then I'll play it, I'll edit it and send it to them. And if they want to play it, cool. If not, I get it. But it's cathartic for me, and it's life changing, man. And it's you do podcasts. It's yes, there's a lot of them. Yes, you might not be a mayor and making money on it or have a living like Corolla, but I love doing it. It's my favorite thing I've ever done.
I dig it too. I'm with you, man. What is before we move on to some other things? What is a sign if someone's listening right now if they don't know they are going through some depression? What is like the first thing that you can maybe give as a warning sign, or like, hey, maybe talk to somebody or anything like that?
I think that the number one sign before you even start feeling it is if you were so interested in, like, let's say baseball or music, or if you start to lose interest in something that you already were obsessed with, and not because you're getting older, but just because you don't know why you're losing interest in it, that's a sign. Now that's not necessarily. I think everybody's gone through that in one phase, but I think that. That's one sign. The other sign is the inability to get out of bed. If you feel like you can't get out of bed and you're not sick or anything, but your brain might be sick. Yep, that's another sign. Also, if you just don't feel like taking care of yourself and showering, there's like little signs like that. Then it goes more deep into, do you feel a shift in your brain? I do. Sometimes it's not all chemical. Sometimes it's seasonal. Some people go through a fall depression. My cousin does. You might not be able to understand why. Situational. You might go through a breakup and that you might not get out of bed that way. So there's so many different types of depression.
And there's a lot of people that probably have had little spells of all those things you just said, but
they don't need to be on medication necessarily.
Right. But if those things happen more frequently than then seems natural, that's when you should maybe reach out to somebody.
In 2017, I don't think there's any problem going out and asking for help. More people are doing it. More celebrities are speaking openly about it finally. 13 Reasons Why. Shit on it if you want. It's bringing awareness to mental health.
Yeah. Watch something like that. Listen to a podcast like Casey's. If anything like that ever kind of enters you, just, kind of start exploring more about just that word in general, depression. So good stuff, Casey. Cool. We're at Taste Chicago now. We got some pizza. We're going to take a quick break and eat a little bit of this pizza while it's still hot, and we'll be right back. So we just took that tiny break. We tore up some Sicilian-style slices. What did you think, Casey? It's your first time having it.
Oh, amazing, man. I'm definitely coming back, and the people are here so kind. And
it is a cool little place. It almost seems kind of too small to do a trivia night.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know. It seats, I'd say, 20, 25 people, and it's like perfect. It's actually perfect. We've done it twice now.
Where do you set up? I know that this isn't good for a podcast.
Yeah, first, right by the door up there is where I set up for trivia. Okay. And then we used this TV last time, so I set up in this corner, and that was kind of better. So, come check out Taste Chicago in Burbank. We do it once a month. Check my website, triviawithbuds.com, for the next event. And thanks to Bobby Hill for letting me do that here and help me set it up.
Do you do travel gigs for, like, birthday parties and, like, all that stuff, too?
I do, Casey. See, it's almost like you set me up for an ad here.
There you go.
I have. I'm doing a guy's woman that comes to one of my trivia nights in Altadena, California, at a bar called the Rancho.
I met you there.
That's right.
You let me do stand-up, me and Bobbitt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mike Bobbitt, shout out, listener, friend, fan of the show. And you guys did some sets there. And there was a woman there named Jerry, and she hit me up on email just the other week, and she said, hey, my husband turns 50. We live in Pasadena in July. Do you want to do his birthday? I was like, hell yeah.
Cool.
So then she just gives me like 5 topics that he'd be into. I write the questions, and then his friends and family, I'll answer them. We'll do a round about him turning 50 and 50 and the number 50 and things like that. So it's really fun. It's customizable. And if you check out my Yelp page, Trivia with Buds on Yelp, you can kind of see like a bunch of people who've had parties and what worked and what they loved about it.
Cool.
And stuff. Yeah. So we're going to dive into some trivia. Speaking of it right now, this is a trivia podcast. This is what's called a Buds Battle. So usually I have 2 friends going head-to-head in topics they're good at, but every once in a while I do a one-on-one episode, kind of get to know a little bit more about a friend of mine, and then we do a topic. I thought since it's getting so nice and we live in Southern California, we would do the topic of summertime trivia. So this is a summertime battle. You wrote 10 questions for me. I got 10 questions for you. We'll kind of go back and forth, and we'll see who does better. I'm going to borrow your pen to keep score, and we'll see who's the better champion at summertime trivia.
You asked me what summer thing I want to do, and I said I think movies about summer, because I think that's underrated.
Yeah.
Summer movies are movies released in summer. Movies about summer, different things.
Okay, very good. And I have some questions about like songs about summertime,
Perfect.
Different things like that. A lot of movie stuff, but we'll dive into it right now. So I'll start off with the first question. Yeah. This is summertime trivia for you, Mr. Casey Moran. Here's your first question. What is the first name of the main character and narrator in the summertime movie, The Sandlot?
The narrator.
So the main character with the
Scotty Smalls.
Scotty is the name I was looking for. Well done. Is that one of your favorites?
By far, it's one of my favorites, and it's funny that I do have a Sandlot question for you. Maybe I'll just go into that now.
Oh, want to dive into it? Here's your question about Sandlot. Let's see if I can get it.
Whatever happened to Bertram? At the end, they talk about Bertram is the shortstop, the guy with the glasses. And they talk about what happens to all of them. So Benny the Jet obviously is a Dodger.
Sure.
Now, Timmy and Tommy made mini malls.
But not when you say Bertram, is that the character that marries the lifeguard?
No, that would be Squints Palmadoris.
Palmadoris. Okay, so Bertram is a character I don't really remember. I remember the black kid.
Yeah.
I forget what he grew up to do.
Nunez, he was the pitcher, the Heaters. He got to AAA.
Oh, that's right.
And then he coached his kids' team. I'm obsessed with the Sandlot.
Can you describe the kid with glasses a little bit more?
Yeah. Taller.
Glasses. Red hair?
Not red hair. That's Ham Porter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. The only reason I brought it up because it's my favorite thing that they talk about when they say what happened to everybody, because I think that my cousins and I always quote it. And maybe it's too hard.
I honestly only rember that Benny the Jet, obviously, because they show him in the game at the end, and he gives the thumbs up to the narrator. And then I remember...
The Jet stole home. I don't believe it.
Squints marries...
Yep, they own Vincent Drugstore, have 12 kids.
12 kids,
Timmy and Tommy mini malls. Ham Porter becomes a wrestler called the Hambino.
The Hambino.
The Nunez gets a AAA coaches.
Wow, you really know these. Like, the back of your hand.
I forgot.
Okay, I don't even remember. So give me the gist.
Bertram got lost in the '60s and nobody ever saw him again.
Now I remember. Yeah. Poor Bertram. No one ever saw him again. 0 points for me. You stumped me on the first question about summertime. Well done, Casey Moran. You. The Sandlot is a classic film. Here's question number 2. What rap duo had the song Summertime in 1991?
DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
That's one more point for you. It's 2-0. Summertime, DJ Jazzy Jeff. I love when he would get thrown out of the front of the house on Fresh Prince. One of my favorite.
Rest in peace, James Avery.
I was going to say, I thought you were telling me Jazzy Jeff died. And I'm like, when did I miss that?
When I worked at TMZ, Harvey called out James Avery died, and Harvey in the middle of the newsroom goes, "What? Tell me something about James Avery. I need it quick." And I just listed everything: his age, this, and he goes, "Thank you." And then he calls me up after, and he goes, "Hey, thank you so much. How'd you know all that?" I'm like, "I'm obsessed with the '90s shows." And
really?
He's like, "Well, next time I need something, I'll let you know." Then I got laid off 3 months later, and he never asked me.
Poor son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I will give you a question now. I bet you know the answer to it.
Yeah.
But what cartoon voice did James Avery? What was he famous for doing? Cartoon villain.
Hold on.
Early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
I've asked this at Trivia Night a million times. I'm surprised you don't know it right away. It's a cartoon villain.
Is it, what's it called? Ninja Turtles?
It is.
Splinter? Not Splinter.
No.
I get them mixed up.
His mortal enemy. Splinter's the rat. The other one with the spiky hands and the covering in his face.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
That was his henchman?
Love
You're
them.
so close.
See, I didn't get it.
Shredder.
Shredder.
He did the voice of Shredder.
Yeah, okay. I
James
knew it was
Avery.
that. Okay.
You were
0
so close.
points. Cool.
Okay, so question number 2 you got. It's 2-0. What do you got for me?
All right. Movie Meatballs.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
What is the name of the camp?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't love it that much. Let's see.
I'll give you a
Bill
hint.
Murray.
It's astronomy based. If you can, if you think of astronomy.
I am going to pull a little bit of trivia from 2006. It's the planet we no longer call a planet, but a dwarf planet. Is it Camp Pluto?
No. It's Camp North Star.
Camp North Star. That is a great question. I should insert that in one of my live nights. Well done. I'm 0 for 2. You're 2 for 2.
I'm 2 for 3, aren't I? Because I didn't get the Shredder one. I got the.
Oh, well, that wasn't officially a summertime question, so that was a little sidebar. Here's question number 3 for you, Casey. In what month do we celebrate National Ice Cream Month? What month is National Ice Cream Month?
Well, I'm guessing it's a summer month.
Could be.
So I'm going July.
It is July. 3 for 3. Casey Moran loves ice cream. Do you have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
I think that Rocky Road's underrated.
Yeah.
It's got chocolate, got nuts, got marshmallows.
I had something Spumoni. Have you ever had Spumoni?
Yeah, I have had Spumoni.
That when I was a kid, I was like, who the hell would eat Spumoni? Some old lady. And then I was at my mom's house in Chicago, who's notorious for having probably upwards of double digits, like 10 pints of ice cream in her fridge at all times. And she had Spumoni, and I was kind of drunk in Chicago, and I tore up the pistachio section, which is the green with the nuts in it. It was really good. It's
great.
So as I get older, you expand your taste buds a little bit.
You do taste Ryan buds.
Oh boy.
But I think
that's on my bumper sticker.
Yeah. My thing is, it also shows more. Like if you have a pint of Rocky Road now, it's done. You're done.
Right in your nip. It goes right to your tits.
Yeah.
I worked on the street in Glendale at the Hollywood Production Center. They down the street just opened a Menchie's yogurt.
I love Menchie's.
And they have Dole Whips, like the Dole.
Dole Whips you can get at Disneyland?
Yeah, like the Disneyland Dole Whip, but the yogurt version. Yeah. And it's like the best thing I've ever had.
It's the best, but it's like, it's so, people go, frozen yogurt's so much better for you. Like, yeah, but not if you get a big one, you fill it up with M&Ms and stuff.
And they give you like a hot tub sized thing.
I thought about a business idea to have a frozen yogurt place and a yoga studio and call it Fro Yoga.
Fro Yoga?
But I don't think it would do well. But it's a fun idea.
That's like you pair that up in a strip mall with nothing bunt cakes. Did you ever see that?
I love that. I love
those are really good too. I love a good pun as well.
All right, so here's one.
Let's do it.
In the movie Wet Hot American Summer, who made their film debut? Was it Michael Ian Black? Was it Bradley Cooper, Amy Poehler, or Ken Marino? Well, multiple choice.
Man, that's a really good question.
2001.
Now, this in my head could be all of them. Is that possibly the answer?
That's a great. I wish it was, but it's not. Amy Poehler was in Deuce Bigelow and all that stuff. So I already threw one out for you.
Okay, now we're down to 3. I'm going to say it's Bradley Cooper.
It is Bradley Cooper. Nice.
I'm on the board with 1, and then that was years before, 4 years before Wedding Crashers when he was a real dick. Sack lunch.
He said that Michael Ian Black was his favorite on-screen kiss, and then Michael Ian Black tweeted and said, "That wasn't kissing, that was lovemaking."
That's amazing. Here's question number 4. Did you watch the prequel that they did on Netflix?
I did not. I'm a big fan of the movie.
Yeah.
I think Kristen Bell was the one that said like that's her favorite movie of all time. Like,
oh yeah,
because it bombed. It was 300,000. It made 300,000. It was like 1.8 to make.
I probably watched it maybe 5 years after it came out.
Right.
In college, and I loved it.
Cult classic.
Yeah. And then I'm like, this is great. And then when the prequel series came out on Netflix, I got super excited.
Yeah.
Watched one episode, then never finished it. Right. And then I just watched I think I have one more to go. So I did just go through.
Aren't they all making cameos? Like,
well, yeah, all of them are in it, and it's supposed to be the first day of the camp in that movie, so it's like a prequel, but they're all 15 years older, which is hilarious.
They were already 28, 30 when they were supposed to be 16, which I love. The Dawson's Creek effect.
Oh, yeah. And then now they're doing it this summer, comes out, it's 15 years in the future. So now they're all playing like their regular age, I guess.
I love that.
And that comes out this summer, so I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Here's question number 4 for you. Who played a character named Summer on the OC?
Summer was played not by Misha Barton, but that other girl that went to Notre Dame, Rachel Bilson.
Well done. How do you know what school she went to?
Notre Dame Sherman Oaks. She went with Kirsten Dunst and Rami Malek.
Interesting. That's weird that you know that. 4 points for you, 1 for me. And did you watch the OC a lot?
Oh, obsessed.
I've mentioned it on this show before. The OC was like, when it was on, I was in college, and I'm like, I'm going to move to Orange County, and my life's going to be like this show. And I thought it would be. And it's not, but my life's better than the OC.
Shailene Woodley. There's a lot of fun facts of people that were on there that were like little co-stars.
Yeah, I went to a musical. They did an OC the musical, like a live reading of it.
I remember hearing about it.
It was pretty bad though.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. They had like a lot of people from the show came and watched it. It was kind of like it was just not it was just kind of not a good show.
Sidebar,
Yeah.
do you think that Misha Barton was more bummed about saying she wanted to leave that show than Luke Perry was at 90210?
Very similar, like a Shannon Doherty type thing.
Right.
I don't know.
Shannon Doherty got fired, where
that's
those
true.
two wanted to move on, which I'm pretty sure that Misha Barton just missed the 100 episode mark, which means she's not in for syndication. I don't know for sure.
What a
but
dum-dum.
It was like 98 episodes. It was something
boy.
stupid like that. Like, just do 2 episodes and get killed off.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Now I have a sidebar for you. What do you
Yeah.
like about rich kids? Do you know the answer to this question?
Yeah, but
What you're supposed to say is nothing.
nothing.
And then
I was
punch me
gonna
in the
say
face.
that. I know. I was like, rich kids in movies
what I
or
li-
rich kids in real life?
Ryan Atwood quote. You know what I like about rich kids? Nothing.
Yeah,
Punches
I love
Luke
that.
in the
Ryan,
face.
that's right.
One of the
That's
best.
right.
Here's question number 5 for you. What do you got?
Number 5. I don't know if I feel like you would know this movie. Camp Nowhere.
I love it.
Okay.
I almost asked you about it.
Name someone not named Christopher Lloyd in that movie. There's one answer, really. Big star. Hot star.
Camp Nowhere. I know. I'm not going to say it when you said hot star. I don't think it's the one you're thinking of.
You can name anyone.
Andrew Keegan is the.
He's in that?
He's the dude from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yeah, no, he is in that. I was looking at.
He runs a cult.
I was thinking.
He runs a local cult in LA now.
You got a point there, but I was
Very good.
thinking Jessica Alba was in that.
She's in Camp
She's
Nowhere?
in it. Yeah, I was looking at it today. I was looking at the IMDb cast to see who I can stump you
She
with.
must not be a main role.
She's
She must
not a
be
main
side role.
but she's in there.
Interesting. I used to love when I fell in love with her in Idle Hands.
Oh, really?
She was the boy, the girl, like the love interest of Devon Sawa, who cuts off his hand. And she comes.
yeah.
She's in a little angel. It's like a
Right.
costume party at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in an angel costume.
She was in an
It's
episode
great.
of Beverly Hills 90210 where she was getting an abortion.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
That's a good one.
Here's number 5 for you. Summertime trivia. What group had the 1995 hit "Steal My Sunshine"? Remember this
Oh, my
song?
God.
It's one of those songs that I actually do enjoy. It's like the dumbest, goofiest song, but I listen to it every time it's on. "Steal My Sunshine," 1995. What was the name of the group who had that
one
song?
hit wonder?
One hit wonder.
Yeah. See,
3 letters. 3 letters.
LFO?
You're so close.
Summer Girls
It's
is what I was thinking of.
Len. Len.
Okay.
Len and "Steal My Sunshine."
Because Summer
The
Girls
writing-
was LFO.
Oh yeah.
Should have
I like
asked you that.
Was that Summer Girls and Abercrombie and Fitch?
Yeah,
two
that's
different songs?
that's the guy. That's the.
But that's the two different songs,
Two
right?
different songs.
What's
Summer
the other
Girls
one?
is Abercrombie and Fitch. You look.
Oh.
My name is Rich. You look like
yeah.
a girl from. Rich died actually.
Poor guy.
Cancer.
He overdosed on that AF cologne.
On Abercrombie and Fitch.
Abercrombie and Fitch cologne. Here's number 6 for you. What do you got?
I'm gonna go heavyweights.
Oh,
What
number
is the-
6 may be about heavyweights for you as well.
Nice. Ben Stiller's character's name. Do you have the same question?
No, but my question, I'll just ruin it right now. Who plays the villain in the movie about a fat camp? Who plays the villain in a movie about fat
okay,
camp?
so you. Oh no, because I'll get that right.
So no points. Yeah, well, you would get.
What's the
I'll
name?
just give you the point. The name.
Yeah.
Friggin' A. I could probably only pull his name from Dodgeball, and I don't even think I could pull that.
If you get the first name or the last name, I'll take it.
I got nothing for either one.
Tony Perkis.
Tony Perkis. Do you know who wrote that movie?
Yeah, Judd Apatow.
Yeah, one of his early ones.
Yeah.
Good job, man. So we'll skip right next to your next question because my next one was who plays
Okay.
the villain. Ben Stiller, you knew it.
We'll go Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
What Academy Award-winning actress was an uncredited role as Girl in Blue Truck?
Ooh. Renee Zellweger.
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Holy
Nicely
shit.
done.
Oh, I feel
That-
good.
that
That's maybe
should be a two-pointer.
That's maybe the smartest I've ever felt in my life when
Nice.
you said yes.
exactly it.
I was like, Joey Lauren Adams is
Right,
A.
right, right.
I was
Not
like,
Academy
she-
Award-winning.
What did Renee win for?
I think she
Jerry
won for
Maguire?
Bridget Jones.
Really?
Yeah. She was at least. She was up for it for that. Oh no, it was
Jerry Maguire?
No, it wasn't Jerry Maguire, but she was up for it for Jerry
Texas
Maguire.
Chainsaw 4, The New Generation?
Yeah, she was that one.
The Next Generation? One of the worst. Did you know Matthew McConaughey and her are in that movie, and they both tried to eliminate it from their resumes? It's the 4th Texas Chainsaw. It's a terrible straight-to-video
Really?
movie. And
But
it's
they don't want to eliminate Dazed and Confused because it's just a classic.
too good. Too
Yeah.
good. All right, here's number 7 I got for you after the Ben Stiller question you already knew the answer to. Where does the movie I Still Know What You Did Last Summer mostly take place? I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Where does it mostly take place?
Shit, because I have a I know what you did last summer question.
Oh, okay. Do you know the sequel? Have you ever
a
seen
little
it?
bit.
They win. Okay, so
They
Jennifer
went
Love
to
Hewitt.
didn't they go not
she
Mexico, it
wins
was
a trip on a radio
That's
station.
right. It was like Cabo. It was some type of Baja or
Keep
something.
guessing. You're very
It was
close.
like
Where do people
the
go on?
Caribbeans or
Kind of. Keep going. It's called
Jamaica?
the something.
Huh?
The something.
the Caribbean islands. The
The Bahamas.
oh yeah.
You were
see?
so close.
Okay.
I'll give you
Yeah,
half a point.
No half.
No halves. All right.
No.
What do you got?
I know what you did last summer.
Okay.
Jennifer Love Hewitt gets the role of Julie James.
Oh, I didn't even know her last name.
Was up for it and offered it beforehand. Now I got a couple
choices. Okay.
Choices. Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
Alicia Silverstone.
Okay.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, my God.
Candace Cameron Bure.
Okay, I'm going to eliminate a few. I'm going to say no Cameron Diaz. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay, no Cameron Diaz. I'm going to say DJ from Full House is no way. She's too Christian.
She had done a TV movie
where Fred Savage beats the shit out of her? That's one of my favorites. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. It's called No One Will Believe You or something.
So good.
Or don't...
So good.
He literally, in that movie, he holds her against they're at wrestling practice.
I need to watch it again.
She comes over to like see his wrestling practice. He's mad that she's there for some reason. He slaps the shit out of her.
Yeah.
The entire team and the coach kind of look and they go, ooh. And they just roll their eyes.
Let it go.
And then she's like, I just came to... She's wearing his Letterman jacket.
I remember this.
I've seen this movie like 3-4 times.
Melissa Joan Hart did one with, not Joey Lawrence, but did one with somebody else. And it was Zach Morris. Really? Yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar. So good.
All right. So I'm going to say it's not DJ. Am I right?
Right.
Okay.
So that
now we're down to
it to Alicia Silverstone and Melissa Joan Hart.
1997, this movie came out. So I'm going to say who was bigger at that time, Melissa Joan Hart, or who was the other one?
Alicia Silverstone. Remember,
I'm going to say, I feel like I've read this before. Clueless was huge. Batman and Robin had come out that year. I'm going to say Alicia Silverstone.
It was Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, God damn it. So close. Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, who would have thought?
That would have probably changed nothing about her career. Don't you think?
No.
Be about the
Clarissa
same.
explains it all. Clarissa gets killed. No, whatever.
There you go. Here's number 8 for you. What wrestling pay-per-view takes place in August every year since 1988?
August.
What,
SummerSlam?
That's right. You got it. That question was written by my wife.
I like
who
that.
I was trying to come up with questions this morning before I left. I go, I need one more summertime question.
That's a good one, though.
She goes, wrestling pay-per-view, and then walked out of the room. She doesn't even know the answer. She just was like, something about a wrestling pay-per-view.
Funny.
So there
That's
you go.
So you.
Well done, Ashley Buds. What do you got?
I got, we will go Summer School.
I love it. One of my favorites.
All right, well, let's see how much you know this actor. Okay. Before acting, where did Mark Harmon go to college, and what sport did he play?
Oh, my God.
It's local to Los Angeles.
The sport he played was tennis.
It was, well, maybe at one point.
I don't know. Okay, so it's not tennis. He played...
think big, and think big college, and think L.A., and think...
UCLA?
Yep.
And he played basketball.
Football, quarterback.
All right.
Half a point.
Half a point. Well done. Mark Harmon. I love that. Did you ever see Summer School?
I did.
One of my favorites.
Isn't, what's her name in that?
Heather Locklear.
Well, yeah, but the
she
other
wants
girl.
to bang him.
What's that one
Kirstie
girl?
Alley.
No.
teacher.
The girl that Norm Macdonald schooled on Conan. You know that girl from...
oh, yeah.
That was my favorite Conan. That's my favorite moment.
What does he do to her? I forget. I know the
So
clip.
her name's Courtney Thorne Smith.
That's right.
And Courtney Thorne Smith said she was promoting a movie she did with Carrot Top. And he goes, you did a movie with Carrot Top? What's it called? Box Office Disaster?
Oh, he
and
just roasts the movie.
She's like, no. And he goes, was it called premature ejaculation? And then she goes, no. And then she goes, it's called Chairman of the Board. And then Conan's like, try to do something that, you creep. And he goes, I bet board is spelled Bored.
Yeah. I remember it was like 3 in a row. That's a great clip. Have you watched his new special on Netflix?
I heard it's amazing, but I love Norm.
I love his album from like 5 years ago, so I got to watch that special.
Great.
Here's number 9 for you. We got 2 questions left for summertime trivia. What meat that's usually a mix of pork and other meat, such as beef or venison, doesn't have to be refrigerated?
Whoa.
What meat that's usually a mix of pork and other meat, such as beef or venison, doesn't have to be refrigerated? Any guesses?
Dude, carnitas?
Summer sausage.
That's great. I like that. Nicely
Summer
done.
sausage.
I should have thought of that.
All right, what do you got?
All right, is this 9?
Yeah, I think you got 2 left.
All right. In the movie Vacation,
Yeah.
what gets stolen off the Griswold station wagon?
All the hubcaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
all right.
nice.
And then the grandma's up top, or the aunt. The aunt's up
Dude,
top.
it's 5-4. This is close.
5-4, pretty close. Here's your last question for me. In 1992, what cartoon showed us how they spent their summer vacation? 1992, what cartoon showed us how they spent their summer vacation?
Bebe's Kids?
Oh, so close. I don't know if that was 92, but I might accept that as an answer. We'll look it up in a second. I was looking for Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons I loved.
Tiny Toons, how I spent my summer vacation.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Baby's Kids might have been 93, but it was right around there.
They also were on vacation, weren't they?
That's a great movie. All right, that was my last question. Now, you are winning by 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're winning. You're going to probably win this thing.
Well,
so
I'm going to do this thing that it's going to be a 2-pointer if you get it all right, because I have 6 movies, 6 quotes. You got to match the movie to the quote.
Oh, all right. It's involved. Let's do it.
All right. Here are the movies. If you want to write down the movies, you can. So
All right.
you have them in
Let's do it.
Summer School.
Yep.
The Great Outdoors.
Yep.
The Graduate.
Uh-huh.
Stand By Me.
Yep.
Chicago-based Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here.
All right. So I'm going to say a quote. You match it to the movie. And
Got
it's
it.
1 quote per movie.
Got it.
There's no trick. Can I call my folks and tell them I won't be coming home ever?
Oh, boy. Summer School, Graduate, Stand By Me. I'm going to say that Stand By Me.
It's not.
Oh, boy. All right.
No.
Let's
Okay.
just hold off. Let's see
All
what
right.
the next quote is. So I can do some process of elimination.
Pez, cherry-flavored Pez.
That's Stand By Me.
Yep.
Okay. So that's Pez. All right.
Okay.
Keep going.
Mrs. Robinson, you trying to seduce me?
That's The Graduate.
Yep.
Mrs. Robinson.
You taste like a burger. I don't like you anymore.
You taste like a burger. I don't like you anymore.
We kind of sidebar talked it for a little bit here.
What Hot American Summer?
Yep.
All right. Burger.
66 times. That's gotta hurt.
66 times Rookie of the Year.
No.
Oh, my God. 66 times that's got to hurt. Oh, Struck by Lightning, Great Outdoors.
Yep.
Yep.
Did he just say funky butt loving?
Funky Butt Lovin' is Rookie of the Year.
Yep. And the last one.
I'm Mark Harmon.
Yeah.
Is that it? Hey, everybody, get ready for summer school.
No, that was that. We already did that one.
And that was the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Which was what again?
It was. Can I call my folks and tell them I won't be coming home ever?
There we go. Well done. That's cool. I might try and do what you just did on future
My dad gave me that.
podcasts.
I go, do you have any? He goes, why don't you take quotes from movies? I looked at Jaws, looked at a bunch of quotes, and then.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Nicely
So that's
done,
at least
sir.
a point for
All right,
me.
I'll get a point. So it's 5-6. So it comes down to this, everybody. We're going to do a thing called categories with buds. Sometimes we do this in the Buds Battle. Sometimes we don't. But we'll do it today. And what we'll do is we'll go back and forth through the alphabet with the names of TV shows.
Okay.
So, for example, I'd say I would start with A, and I'd go All in the Family. And then you would do a show that starts with B, and then I do C, and back and forth until one of us misses one.
Okay.
So I'll kick it off.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you kick it off with the letter A, and then we'll go back from there. So you just got to name a
Alias.
show. Alias, well done. For B, I'm going to say Bob's Burgers.
C, I'm going to say Charles in Charge.
D, I'll say Dallas.
E, I'll say Everybody Loves Raymond.
F, I'll say Fargo, the series.
G, I'll say. Oh my God! Did I already get stumped on G? Hold on.
Just thinking about it.
That's a tough one. G.
TV show that starts with G. I'm having a hard time thinking of one, too.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, I got one. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Okay. Hold on. Give me 5 more seconds.
All right. I'll take a bite of pizza.
Gattaca. Is that a movie? Galaga or Gattaca?
That's a movie.
It is. Okay. Yeah. I can't.
Good Luck, Charlie.
God damn.
You ever see that show?
Okay. Yeah.
Disney Channel. And then H, I had Hey Dude. Remember that
Hey,
show?
dude, I would have loved.
So, I was the last one standing. I'm going to give myself 1 point. And
We
Casey,
going overtime?
We can go overtime.
Yeah.
What should we do? We'll just think of stuff on
I
the
have
spot.
one more question.
Oh, I'll have to think of one more question.
Okay.
Why don't you ask yours first?
In heavyweights, who is the fattest kid in the movie? What's the character's name for the fattest kid in the movie?
Salami Sam.
No, but close. Sims.
Sims. That's the kid from Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
right?
that's Josh. He played Goldberg. And fun fact, he didn't want to do that movie.
Yeah.
But they said he wouldn't be in D3 if he didn't do it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
looked that up
So
today.
this is your last question. If you get this right, you are the champion of this episode. You win the Buds Battle. And your question is about summer, obviously. And I'm going to say your question is about a musician or a band. There's a
Okay.
band, really just one guy, kind of like known for one guy. They had a song. I think the song is called Summer. And it's like, it's summer, where all the girls bear olive shoulders. It's summer, something, something, something else.
Yeah.
Does that ring any bells for you?
No.
No? Dashboard Confessional.
I do like Dashboard Confessionals.
Yeah, that was the one that jumped in my
Okay.
head for our summer.
So we're still tied up.
Still
What do we
going
do
back
here?
and forth. All right, we'll take our shirts off.
Should we just come up with questions on the top of our head now?
Any random question. Let's do it. Whoever gets the next one. I got one for you.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. I've done a lot of movies. I want to switch it up.
Okay. I'll ask my question first,
go
okay?
ahead.
What is the name of the 10th Friday the 13th movie. The 10th Friday the 13th movie.
It's not just Friday the 13th, the 10th one?
No.
I don't know.
Takes place in space. Remember that one?
I don't remember
Jason
that.
X.
Love
Jason
that.
X.
Okay.
We're really going head to head here.
Yeah, mine is. What's a term that they say about baseball that has the word summer in it?
Oh God, I am not going to know this. Summer stealing.
Boys of Summer.
Boys of Summer. Oh, because they play in the summertime.
Summer.
Wow, we are batting zero here, huh?
Yeah.
Case. All right,
this is
see.
good. We're good. I honestly thought I was going to get beat like 7-3, so I'm glad I'm in this.
We are very tied. Okay, I'm going to ask you about a board game. The board game's Monopoly. Okay. I have a lot of random Monopoly knowledge. Okay.
How are you going to incorporate summer into this? This is going to be great.
Oh, do we still have to incorporate summer?
I thought that's
what you said you were going to do totally random.
Oh, we could do random, yeah.
Didn't I ask you? Oh, no, I did ask you a summer question.
No, let's do Monopoly. I mean, I don't know much, but...
I'm going to ask you about Monopoly. What is the largest denomination of bill in a game of Monopoly?
Ooh,
largest bill.
Like the one bill that you can get that's...
So there's the $1 bill is the lowest.
100,000?
Nah, it's $500.
Lowest. You said lowest. Oh,
no, highest.
Okay, yeah.
I was saying lowest is 500.
Okay, yeah, just totally guessed. Okay.
We're just having a nice trivia chat here.
Okay. Yeah, this is fun.
Let's see if I can get your question.
Why is Nomar Garcia Parra's first name Nomar?
Because it was Omar and he didn't like it.
It's Ramon backwards. His dad's name is Ramon.
Oh my God. We're just spitting out facts.
Yeah.
What 1993 blockbuster was known as the tagline for, or a review of it was called, it said Jaws with Claws.
I'm going to go with Jaws.
No, Jaws with Claws.
I know. Gremlins?
1993. 1993, Jaws with Claws. That was like a way a critic to explain the movie. Jurassic Park.
Dang it. I thought that was 94, but okay.
All right. Spitball in the trivia. Casey Moran's trying to stump me.
Yeah.
We've been stumping each other left and right.
I've done sports. I've done that. Let's see. I
got one more for you.
Yeah, do it.
Let's see if you can get this one. What is the name of the area that Winnie the Pooh and the gang live in?
Who?
Winnie the Pooh and the gang. Where do they live? What's it called?
Oh, my God.
It's in the forest, but it's
called
nothing? 100-acre wood.
I haven't heard. Oh, man, this is a real battle here. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Whoever gets the next question wins. We keep stumping each other.
A movie that Zach Galifianakis did was about snowboarding in 2001.
Out Cold.
Yes.
We finished it strong. I won by 1 point somehow. Well done, Casey Moran, with some great questions. Some really good stuff.
One of my favorites, Out Cold.
I love it. They spin when he passes out, and they spin him around in the car.
Yeah. David Koechner in that.
Oh, it's great. Well done, sir. Where can people find you online?
Casey Moran 1 on Twitter. Yeah. Casey Moran 11 on
Moran.
Instagram. Yeah. Sorry, I just add ones to it. Casey Moran 11. Casey Moran on Facebook. And then
Discussing
podcast,
Depression.
Infamous Chronicles and Discussing Depression. Yeah.
Love it, man. Thanks for meeting me here, enjoying a slice of pizza, and shooting some summertime trivia shit with me.
Thanks for having me, and I'm going to get back to this pizza.
All right, bye. There it is. A Buds battle has again come to an end on the Trivia with Buds podcast. Casey dominated me. He knew a lot more about summertime movies than I thought that I did. Check out Casey's podcast that is dealing with depression wherever podcasts are found. It's a great show. Casey's a great guy, and if you have anything going on in your life that sets off any of those alerts that we talked about, I think that's very important to examine those, talk to somebody, figure out what you got going on, and that's the first step, towards getting better. So again, check out Casey Moran. He's one of the best guys I've met in California, and I think you'll love his show about dealing with depression. I am reaching out to you guys now for guest round ideas. Maybe you have a round that you've always wanted to write or ask about trivia. And I'm looking for people to write 5 questions in the form of a guest round. Maybe you're like into Harry Potter, or you like Seinfeld, or you like Adventure Time, or you collect Blu-rays or something, and you want to write 5 questions about it. You can write those questions and then record them or leave them to me in a voicemail, and I will throw them on one of the future mini episodes of the show. Maybe you do a great impression. Maybe you're a comedian friend of mine, and you want to promote something. Use that time when you're asking the questions before or after to promote your thing. That's what this show is going to be about. It's going to be very listener-friendly, very socially friendly to contribute to or to help out with. So that's what I'm looking for. Send me a voicemail again at 424-265-1212 or email me, ryanbuds@gmail.com. Or if we see each other on a regular basis, stop me and I'll record you on my phone or Zoom recorder, and we'll get that file into a future show ASAP. It's the time of the show where we do a listener quiz, and I have just a random assortment of 3 things to ask you right here. And these 3 things are about years. I'm looking for 3 years, and lately we've been doing like a theme of some kind. So like we did 3 movies of Keanu Reeves that take place in Chicago. A couple weeks ago, we did the other 3 Stooges besides the main ones that you know, just last week, I believe. And this week, I want to know the years that the 3 Cars movies came out. Now, you may have a hint with the third Cars movie because it's coming out very soon. But I'm looking for the other 2 years for Cars 1, Cars 2, and Cars 3. Let's throw that in as a nice, easy third question. That's this week's listener quiz. If you can figure those out on your own without looking them up, send me the answers, ryanbuds@gmail.com. And you can send those in for a chance to win a prize. What is the prize this week? It is a Trivia with Buds lighter bottle opener. I got a few left from a batch I ordered about a year ago. 6 months ago, something like that. Trivia with Buds lighter bottle opener for the randomly chosen winner of this week's listener quiz. 3 years that the Cars movies came out. Speaking of 3s, I'm going to recommend 3 podcasts that I'm into right now. They are of the wrestling variety. So if you don't like wrestling, you may not like these shows, but if you do like wrestling, these are the ones that you need to listen to. The first one's Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. My good friend Marty DeRosa from Chicago. We started stand-up around the same time in 2006, 7, somewhere around there. And Sarah Shockey put on this show every week. It comes out on Thursdays, and it is super, super fun. They do a lot of character impressions, a lot of improv, ad-libbing, and different segments and things. They do an F, Marry, Kill segment that's killer every week, literally. And I highly recommend Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling, wherever podcasts are found. The other one is called Fully Posable, which is a podcast about collecting wrestling action figures. And I actually heard about that one on Marty and Sarah. They ran an ad on there. And I'm like, could that be interesting to listen to? And I've listened to 2 hour-long episodes of Fully Posable, and man, it is great. Even if you're a casual collector like I am, these guys know everything about wrestling figures, and it's just fun to listen to the different ways they find to talk about that. And the other one of the wrestling variety is called The Mega Potters. That's my good friend Derek Zuashkiani from the South. I met him in Chattanooga, Tennessee, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And we stay in touch. We talk about wrestling and comment on each other's Facebook posts and things. The Mega Potters, which is a play on the Mega Powers, Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, when they were a tag team. Check out Fully Posable, the action figure podcast, Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling, and the Mega Potters. That's all I have for you this week. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about all the things that I like. And why don't you take a second and tell me what you like? Leave me a review, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you listen to this show. Go check out Pod Quiz in the UK or wherever podcasts are found. And that's all I got for you. Rest in peace, Adam West. Good night, sweet prince. We'll see you next time on the Trivia with Buds podcast. Bye-bye.